Okay, we're going to start with the cheapest fire steel first, which is the Coghlan's, which is the budget fire steel. I don't like using their stock scrapers or strikers. I just don't like them. I usually use a knife with all of my fire steels, so I always make sure I have a 90-degree spine on my knives. This is a more companion that I kind of customized for this. So here we go. Good sparks, look at that. I could even hear them hit the concrete here. I can hear the spark as it hits and explodes on the concrete. So this is a fire steel that I'm comfortable using anywhere. It's cheap, budget. I don't have a problem with it. Here is the Mora. This is the same fire steel that comes with the Bushcraft Black. Let's give it a try. I'm striking on the same place. I can strike anywhere on this knife, but when I'm doing a pullback, I like to choke up on it. So anyway, so here we go in the same spot. Spark may linger just a little bit longer in the air, but again, I could use either one of these fire steels with success. Here's the one that the no handle. I think I might have ordered this from firesteel.com. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, let's try this in a little bigger diameter. Let's see if it makes any difference. Again, on the same place on the spine of the knife. Good sparks, a little more sparks, a little heavier because it's bigger fire steel. Again, any three of those I'm comfortable with. All three, I'm very comfortable with them. This is the Light My Fire Army. Again, I'm comfortable with any of these. One thing I will say about this Light My Fire is it is an easier to use fire steel. I typically, like with the Coghlan's here, I don't like using their stock strikers. You have to customize them and put an edge on them. They just don't work that well. 9 times out of 10, the success you have with a fire steel is the striker you're using. So if you do your knife, really tweak on it until you get it right where you want it, to where it's easy to get sparks with it, okay? But with the Light My Fire, with the stock striker, simple. And you're not going to get that kind of action out of these other fire steels with their stock strikers 9 times out of 10. These Moras don't come with a striker. You just order the fire steel. So really, the only one that I have in my bunch that have stock strikers is the Coghlan and the Light My Fire. And the cool thing about the Light My Fire, if you want to do, say like Dave or Paul Kirtley, he likes to use just on the very tip of his fire steel and uses like birch bark. I typically don't do it like that, but it's real easy to do. It's real easy to do with a knife, which those other fire steels are hard to do with a knife. Pretty consistently, okay? But so if you're a beginner, the Light My Fire is an easier fire steel to use, but I almost recommend not starting out with the Light My Fire because it could kind of cripple you a bit. If you get used to how easy this one is, then you lose it and you have to pick up one of these other ones that are a little more difficult to strike. You know, you could be, if you're trying to use a striker. So just keep in mind, the Light My Fire is a great fire steel. It's wonderful, but it is really easy to use. So if you're a beginner, this is going to be really easy to use. But you know, it's all in how you practice with them. So that's my take on these. And I know I've done a review on these two 10 years ago, and I can't remember, there were 2 or 3 others that I had grouped into that review. So you see how they work. I'm comfortable with any of these fire steels. I'd take any of them to the woods and not be afraid of not getting a fire started.